Okay, YouTubers, this video is titled Weyland-Yutani Rising, and there's a reason for that. Weyland-Yutani is a non-existing super corporation who has, it's basically out in outer space, doing mining, processing, hauling, goes beyond the solar system, and it is the socio-political economic context in which the xenomorph mess broke loose in the movie Alien. It seems they wanted the xenomorph, they somehow knew about its existence already, for its weapons department. Now, it also has some sort of Space Marines Corps strike force, which they sent against the xenomorphs unsuccessfully when things had gotten loose and out of control in some base. So, anyway, why am I bringing this up? The reason why is that there are two situations existing now on Earth and beginning to reach out into space, which strike me as the embryonic form for the development of something like Weyland-Yutani for real. Now, this is a completely amoral operation in the movie, and frankly, most, your big corporations, when they can operate outside of any restraints except the profit motive, and their depraved top executives, middle management, and workers are free to do whatever to each other, to other people. This sort of stuff tends to happen. So, because let's face it, people, especially the ones who gravitate to positions of power, aren't very nice. We all got negative potential. We either got it under control or we don't, or somewhere in between. Or some people are actively pursuing it, considering it even a virtue. Now, what's going on is, on the one hand, you have megacorporations, and you have some of them even are what they call military contractors now. The term used to refer to the people who made the armaments, ammo, planes, etc. Probably still is used that, but in popular media now, the term in the news is usually basically mercenary operations. They're legal because they're not operating under flags other than their own, those of the countries they're already citizens of, but they are not regular army. Blackwater is a classic example, changed its name at least twice since some scandals broke loose. The research has shown that the majority of the world's corporations, including media, are owned by a smaller number of corporations that are owned by a still smaller number of corporations, till you get down to the top layer of corporations that own everything, or most of everything. And these, in turn, have a lot of what's called interlocking directorate. The same individuals are in the top positions in all or most of them. Not, all of them and all the same individuals, but you'll have somebody who's in 3 corporations and somebody else who's in one of those 3 and 4 others, and so on and so forth. And also this operates at a lower level. Now, unless you got micromanagers, this isn't going to affect that much on the ground. But they set standards, they set policies, and if they decide some specific matter is going to be handled a certain way and no other way, even if it's against normal policy, it's worth your job, and perhaps under some cases your life, to go against the special order that it's going to be done this way instead of the usual way. Secondly, now that's Weyland-Yutani's corporate culture to a T. The second thing is that you've got some groups now working on mining asteroids and private excursion into space. SpaceX, for example, Elon Musk, who has, by his order, at least, whatever, came out of SpaceX, a classic way of restating things to make it sound better. The last rocket he set up blew up. And so this, instead of, they just say, well, it was a rapid, unscheduled disassembly. Yeah. The damn rocket blew up. Now, he's gotten stuff. It doesn't mean he can't get it done right. They've gotten stuff up there before. That's not the point. The point is, unless this was some kind of a bad joke, they're already committed to spin doctoring, comparable to damage in the Vietnam War being called carpet bombing, being called landscape restructuring, which give you an idea of what sort of stuff it did, not only in flesh and blood, but also structures and ground and so on. Collateral damage for innocent bystanders getting killed, stuff like that. You could rephrase things a whole lot. Anyway, so obviously, oh yeah, and then of course there's the possibility of a breakaway civilization that operates all the origin points of it, and there's more than one, add up to not very nice people. And the latest version is, the latest stream into the phenomenon is basically Nazi technology, Nazi know-how, Nazi cultural, so corporate culture type mentality, okay? I'm not going to go into the evidence for that. You can research that separately. The point is that when you got this situation going on, that I'm seeing develop on the ground and beginning to reach into space, sooner or later it's going to establish itself very strongly. And currently, you need permission to go off-world to operate. Yeah, and there's I think an international organization that all rocket launches have to be cleared with or listed with or something. And but once something like this establishes a base somewhere else, all bets are off. And you could probably expect rival groups to start shooting each other. Now, when the thing that really got me going on this was that NASA, and I can't recall if some of Google, which has NSA technology to begin with it, and Zuckerberg was involved to some extent in any of this or financing or whatever, but the ballgame is they want to work on biotechnology in space. They want to develop a highly resistant, survive in radiation and extreme environment sort of stuff, type of skin. Well, who's going to be wearing some living skin unless the entire person has been modified some way to support this? And we talk about cloning body parts in space. So you got some problem, you got a diseased organ because of too much radiation exposures, clip it out and put in the clone substitute. Well, this sounds all very nice. But if you're talking about developing and maintaining huge laboratory situations, either in orbit or based on Mars or whatever, and you got these other features I'm talking about, looks to me like all the worst mentality is ready to head out there. And you could say, well, good, bye, we'll be rid of them. Not really. I pity everybody caught up with it. But I'm seeing the beginning of this. So when this mess blows up for a storm in 10 or 20 years, remember, I warned you about this. And anyway, Alex Jones has a YouTube video, Creeps in Space, that discusses this, and I heard about it from some other source. Alex Jones has issues, but occasionally he breaks a story before some other people, the mainstream does, and or he's onto something that is important. And I think this is probably more so than he's recognizing. He's dealt with the transhumanist thing, which sounds so nice. It isn't, and it's a big illusion that you have immortality by uploading your brain, your memories, your processes to a computer. All that's going to happen is you yourself are going to be dead, and whoever's talking to the so-called you that's the computer, you're not going to be hearing what they have to say, and they're not going to be getting feedback from you. They're going to be dealing with an extremely good replica of you. That's all. You may have the social immortality that some people like, leaving a legacy, and if it's a smart enough computer, and it can direct things, run things, plan things, even think up new things the way you would, programmed to operate like you, yeah, you got kind of social immortality, but you personally don't got any more immortality than the poor slob on the street who drops dead of a heart attack after working too hard. There's a lot of illusion there. There is a lot of pseudo-godhood involved, and a potential elite class, like in some movies that has them going around, you have this mess of people living, in uncomfortable conditions, and then there's the elites who troll to buy or kidnap somebody for spare parts. And I think you should take a look at some of these dystopian films again and start thinking about where things are going. And I don't know if it can be stopped, but it can be slowed down, it can be modified, it can be mitigated if you work to stop it. And I don't know how to do that. Somebody out there may be able to figure something out.